Hi, and thank you for tuning into my second video of my YouTube channel. All four of y'all that watched my first YouTube video, I appreciate y'all. I really do, even though it's just four. I hope that we expand further with this topic. So I was very skeptical about showing my face, and I probably won't always show my face, but I did decide that, as a formal introduction to just go ahead and you can see me. So, welcome. I am excited. I took a long hiatus. I actually did that video in August of last year, found out I was pregnant in September of last year. So I took a very long break that I needed. I needed to also, after I had my child, had him in May. I now have two children, so it was a transition period for me. And I just needed some time to really figure out mom of two, boy mom of two. It's a lot, but it's been 5 months, or it's now almost 6 months. So now I'm excited to get back to my passion project. I call this my passion project. And yeah, so I just wanted to do a little introduction and just y'all see me and see what vibe I'm giving y'all with this channel. So we're going to get into the information. Yeah. My first video, we discussed how in America, how widespread drinking and driving is. So you go out, you indulge in one, two, three, or 10 drinks, and then you get pulled over. And basically, the police officer is going to ask you, oh, have you been drinking tonight? Blah, 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 asking you all those questions. And they want to know, they're most interested in your BAC, which is your blood alcohol concentration. That is going to tell them all they need to know in regards to if you are drunk or not. Now, the BAC, or blood alcohol concentration, is impairment. And I went on to the NHTSA website, or the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and it actually has this information that I have up on the screen. It's the effects of blood alcohol concentration. Now, this information is important because if you're drinking and you're out, you need to know when it's time for you to throw your keys somewhere in the ditch and bury them for the night, because you don't need to be drinking and driving. You don't need to drive. So it says the blood alcohol concentration, it is measured in G/DL, which is grams. Grams per deciliter. To me, that's just hella small. It means small. Okay, like you don't need that much liquor to get buzzed or get drunk. Like you don't. Gram is a weight of 1 milliliter, or 16 drops of water. It's about 1/30th of an ounce. A deciliter is the unit of fluid volume that is equal to 1/10 of a liter. So a liter is a little larger than a quart of fluid. So it's small. Like you don't need that much to get drunk. And I wish I knew this when I was younger. I did not care about this information, but this information could have saved me, my family, so much headache, honestly. So I'm not going to read every line, but let's start from the top. So point zero 0.02, some loss of judgment is a typical effect, relaxation, slight body warmth, altered mood, decline in visual functions, rapid tracking of a moving target, decline in ability to perform two tasks at the same time, divided attention, which we all know that's what you need to drive. So we are in the first bullet point, and we already cannot even divide our attention to drive. Like dot dot dot. That lets you know it's only going to get worse. So let's go to point oh 0.05, right? It's exaggerated behavior, may have loss of small muscle control, focusing the eyes, impaired judgment, usually good feeling, lowered alertness, release of inhibition. Okay, release of inhibition. That means that you're slowly not caring what's going on around you. You're just more focused on the good feelings that you're having inside. The drink is making you warm. You're chilling. You're chilling. Whatever happens, happens. Predictable effects on driving, reduced coordination, reduced ability to track moving objects. You can't even see what's coming at you. Okay. Difficulty steering, reduced response to emergency driving situations. We already know people can't drive sober, right? So you're out here drinking, trying to drive, and now you can't even respond quickly if somebody else, who we all know people can't drive, especially if you're in Georgia, cough cough. Now this is already getting sticky. So let's go ahead and move down to where it's usually the legal limit is 0.08. This is usually the legal limit, right? Where don't go over this, because now you are just, let's just read it. So 0.08, muscle coordination becomes poor, balance, speech, vision, reaction time. Okay. Hearing, you can't even hear. It's not funny, but I just think it's just getting worse. Harder to detect danger. Judgment, self-control, reasoning, and memory are impaired. So everything that you need to be a successful driver is impaired at this point. Predictable effects on driving, concentration, short-term memory loss, speed, control, reduced information processing capability, so signal detection, visual search, impaired perception. And I am going to discuss my history sooner than later, because it's crazy that this is the legal limit, but this is the what you have to go against when you're trying to drink and drive. So you know what, I'm going to go and do the last two, because I think that I need to read it out. 0.10, clear deterioration of reaction time and control, slurred speech, poor coordination, and slow thinking. Predictable effects on driving is reduced ability to maintain lane position and brake appropriately. So at this point, you're just kind of, you're playing a game of, will I or will I not make it home? Like, let's be honest. This is the game where I hope, and I hope that I make it to where I need to get to, because right now I know that at this point, yeah, I can drive is out the window, honestly. So now we're going to go to 0.15, where this chart ends. The typical effects are far less muscle control than normal. Vomiting may occur unless this level is reached slowly or a person has developed a tolerance for alcohol. Major loss of balance. Predictable effects of driving. Substantial impairment in vehicle control. Attention to driving tasks, and the necessary visual and auditory information processing. So you're impaired. You can't think. You can't control your muscles. You can't understand what you're seeing. You don't hear what you're needing to hear while you're driving. So this is just the worst case scenario. And just think that some people blow higher than a 0.15, and they're out here on our roads driving. That is scary. Now, I'm in this position because I have drunk and I have driven. And that is why I'm so passionate about what I'm speaking about, because this information is not new. But when I was drinking and I was driving, I was not concerned about the information. I was more so concerned about my next drink, feeling like I'm powerful, like I got this. Nobody's going to stop me. I'm going to make it to where I need to make it to. That was my mentality back when I was drinking and driving. But it's clear as day that when you drink and when you drive, you are not in control. You're not doing and you're not being the best driver that you need to be while you're out on the road. Now, I was going to put up a chart for BAC, but honestly, I feel like that would be misleading because it's different for everyone. You have to really take into consideration your weight. You have to take into consideration the type of drinker you are, meaning, do you drink fast? Do you drink slow? All of those things really do affect the way your BAC is and how much drinking you drink, depending on your weight. So it's not really accurate if I were to put up a chart and say, oh, this is how much it's going to be for you to drink. That's not um, plausible. That's not realistic for me to do that. So I don't want to mislead anyone with that. You really need to just look it up yourself and see how much it would take for you to be incoherent and impaired when you're out there drinking. I can give you a little bit of a personal story for me. I'm 4'11", and back when I was drinking, um, I was probably 120 pounds. So I was good off of a shot or two, right? But I didn't, care about BAC. I just was drinking. I didn't count my drinks. I didn't, think about, oh, this is going to put me over the edge. No, I didn't think about that. But it's so important to look at your weight and look at how much you're drinking. I was literally drinking like I was 6'1", 250. Honestly, that's exactly how I was drinking. And I'm just being super honest with you right now. And I'm able to discuss this with you right now because I've done a lot of self reflection. It's been almost 3 years, 33 months to be exact, since I've been sober. And it's a lot of shame when we discuss drinking and when we're doing these high risk choices and just not living in alignment with what, is best for us. But I've forgiven myself a long time ago, and it wasn't easy, but I did. So instead of letting the shame of my past when I decided to have a YouTube channel where I can discuss it freely and share my perspective and share my voice. And, it's very liberating to be able to just step outside of that hidden area like, oh no, I don't want anyone to know. But it happens. It happens so often. It happens so often, and I don't think that people are talking about it enough. So here I am. Here's a story that I found on 11 Alive. It's from July of this year, 2024. It's saying about over 5 years, nearly 300 Georgia law officers were arrested for DUI. That's a lot. It says the Georgia Post, or the Peace Officer Standards and Training Council, is the regulatory agency that sets the standards for all law enforcement officers in the state. So basically, they're saying they have the power to investigate wrongdoing and determine if the officer post certification should be revoked, which is crazy. I did a quick little search for the Georgia Post Peace Officer Standards and Training Council. Their first little thing on their website is the mission of the Georgia Peace Officer Standards and Training Council is to provide the citizens of Georgia with qualified, professionally trained, ethical, and competent peace officers and criminal justice professionals. I'm not sorry. Like, if you are a law enforcer and you are making unethical, because driving under the influence is an unethical choice, you need to be revoked. Even if it may be for a period of time for you to get your life together, but I'm sorry, it should not be a if, ands, or buts about it. Like, no, maybe, maybe not. Like, that article said that 30 people didn't got revoked, and like the remainder is not. It's just mind boggling to me, honestly. Well, that is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I will be pushing out more videos, and believe me, the quality will continue to get better. I'm very new at this editing thing, but it's really fun. I really enjoy it, and hope to see y'all in the next one.